Have you ever been to the home for retired bears, Adam?
Alfie, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I haven't. I've been to Peru. No, I haven't really. But imagine just...
You really got my hopes up there. How was that?
Bombshell.
Oh my God.
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, I've not.
Oh.
I don't know. Like we said before, off air, when we have a little catch up beforehand, that we might think that Aunt Lucy's dead, and she's not actually going to be in the film. Paddington's going to rock up at the end, and Aunt Lucy's dead.
Aunt Lucy, you're 6 feet under. I love this. What a great cold open. The number one rule in improvisation is saying yes and to keep the conversation flowing. And we both go, you've been to the home for retired bears? No. Have you? Nah.
Dead
Brilliant.
air. God, we wouldn't get a job at the BBC, would we? Hello and welcome to episode 40 of Movie On Up with your hosts, me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow. Episode 40.
How are we doing? Look at that. Episode 40. That's a milestone, mate. That's nearly a year.
It is. Crazy times. I'm doing well, thank you. Post-graduation has hit. We had the privilege of going to our graduation ceremony on Monday this week. And it was a lovely evening. Lovely event. And it was nice to see some friends, old ones, new ones. Had a good time. How about you?
Yeah, it was fun. It's a bit of a sort of fuss, isn't it? It's all a lot of waiting around and a lot of fuss and a lot of hassle. And unfortunately, I didn't get to see some friends, but I did get to see some old friends. So yeah, it was both a bit bittersweet, I think, because that's potentially the final time I'm going to see some people. But then also good in a way because it rekindled some conversations and friends from first year. So yeah, it's all onwards and upwards, I guess, isn't it? But
absolutely. And I was going to say you can call me Paul O'Grady because I'm now graduated, but that's not funny. That's not funny. Cut that.
No, it's not. I won't entertain that joke. That was poor.
No. Rest in peace, Paul O'Grady.
So true.
Man, what a crazy week, though. I mean, graduation and then the USA presidential election last night. That was... That's a headline, isn't it, to wake up to?
And Movie On Up episode 40. That's 3 things in a week that... Yep. My God.
3 global events.
Well, if you are depressed about the election result, I'm just hoping that on Thursday evening, Friday morning, when this comes out, you can tune in to this wonderful breath of fresh air, and we're going to chat some good films and keep you going in a positive mood, because my God, isn't it grim?
The weather today, atrocious. Went to the cinema for a 1:40 showing, and I'm convinced it was overcast before I got there. It was on the verge of raining. Don't think it did rain, but it was liable to. I come out and it was dark already. I was like, oh God, you kidding me?
It's so grim. Grim to fit the political climate, grim to fit the weather, all a bit sad. But enough of our commiserations and our melancholy. What 3 films is Adam Barlow reviewing today? Because apparently Adam's the only one who watches films now. I won't lie.
It's a very one-handed podcast. We've been doing this with our hands tied behind our backs. Yeah.
I just make little jabs every now and then, make a remark. You do all the hard work.
For not really very much gain. What did I see this week? I saw Juror number 2, the new film directed by Clint Eastwood, Hollywood's icon, really. But it did get me thinking. I've actually not ever seen a Clint Eastwood film, I don't think.
Wow, not even one of the OG cowboy ones?
I don't think so. Like cowboy movies have just sort of... My mum's a fan of them, I know that, but they're not really on the TV much more. They are, but because everyone's on streaming now, I don't see them. I don't come across them.
Don't watch the TV, right?
And it's like they're not really made anymore. I'd love to sit down and watch a good old cowboy film. There was that one that came out in the summer, and they were going to do a 2-parter with the second one a month after, but it bombed so hard.
It was branded as like part 1, wasn't it? But so is it completely written off then? Have they said that?
I think
Part
so.
2.
I think so. They're going to release it at some point, but I imagine it would just go straight to streaming. But it's a real shame because it was one film I wanted to try and catch, but they just had maybe 4 showings in total in the week, and they were at really awkward times.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
A
impossible
bit like
to see.
Piece by Piece currently,
Mm.
with 1 showing per day at my local view.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. Also this week, though, I'm going to be reviewing Red One, a film that's been marketed an insane amount. I keep seeing this trailer everywhere and posters and stuff, but I knew it would be a tough watch, and I'll get into it later. But it's an interesting one. I'll say that. And then finally, Anora, a bit of an Oscar-tipped film. I think it's going to be in the conversation for sure. It's interesting. It's by Sean Baker, stars Mikey Madison, an electric young actress that shows real promise in this film, and I'm excited to talk about it and recommend it to you.
I will preface before we get into the reviews that I am sorry that I have not seen many films. This is a formal apology to you, Adam.
Oh,
the formal apology, because for the past maybe 4 episodes, Adam has been the only one reviewing stuff. He's carrying the weight of movie on his shoulders right now.
and guys, let me tell you, it's heavy. Yeah. It is heavy.
All 5 listeners are crying out for my opinion on a film, but it's just not happening.
They're yearning for the discussion. They're yearning for a secondary point of view, but they're just going to have to settle with my ramblings.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there. Next week we'll tease them. We usually do this at the end, but next week we'll be back on form, and I think we're going to have 2 films that we've both seen, 2 films that are weirdly linked a bit, I guess, through Hugh Grant, and we're going to review them and proper tuck into them. But anyway, Adam Barlow, which film are you reviewing first?
Let's start with Juror number 2. Right, so Clint Eastwood has been obviously a prolific, very celebrated actor in Hollywood for decades, but he's also done his fair share of directing, and this is kind of rumoured to be his last film that he'll work on because he's quite an old guy now. So people really want this film to do well and for it to be, well received. It's called Juror number 2, and it's got an interesting plot that sounds almost like it could be a true story. I don't think it is, but it's got a sort of stagey feel to it. I'd say in a pleasant way. It's got a knotty script, good cast. It's got Nicholas Hoult in there, J.K. Simmons. You've got Zoe Deutsch, Toni Collette in a pretty significant role, Kiefer Sutherland as well, who's always good whenever he appears. Yeah, it's got good components, I would say. It was done on a very modest budget of $35 million, or an estimated budget of around there, and it was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures, who have seemingly buried this film for whatever reason. I think there's been a few cases where WB are a bit spiky, I think, to their directors. I mean, I think we saw that a bit with Christopher Nolan, didn't we, with Oppenheimer, because he went over to do that with was it Universal? I can't remember who did he do that with?
Yeah, and then they offered him a check to bring him back, and he just cashed it in and then said, "No, I'm not coming back."
Yeah, fair play to him. Stick to his guns. So Juror number 2, what did I think of it? I'll say this: it's got a very interesting and involving plot. Here's the synopsis on Google. It says, a juror from a high-profile murder trial finds himself struggling with a serious moral dilemma that could influence the verdict and potentially convict or free the accused killer. Convict or free. I said that in such a weird way. So Nicholas Hoult plays that central character. He is the titular juror number 2. He is selected to be part of the 12-man jury for this case, where a boyfriend has been accused of seriously beating his girlfriend and leaving her body in a ditch at the side of a road in sort of a creek area. And Nicholas Hoult, his character, is also a recovering alcoholic who it's told not through flashbacks but just through dialogue that he had an accident himself due to his alcoholism, was fined and given community service, and then met his wife through doing work at a school. His wife was a teacher, not a kid there, but yeah, it's not quite that dark. And you actually meet him and his wife, played by Zoe Deutsch, quite early on. She's expecting a baby at the same time that he's in the jury, so you've also got this sort of time pressure where they've got to arrive at a decision about this case in order for him to be there for his mum, for his wife giving birth. So there's a few things going on, but in that description it's kind of vague, so I'll spoil it very slightly. It's not really a huge issue because it's really just the premise of the film. But the case in this film, while he's hearing it being announced in court, he finds out that he was in the bar and he actually may have killed the woman himself. He was not drunk driving, but he was in a very low mood, and he drives over this bridge where the girlfriend had split off and walked home alone. It's tipping it down. He can't quite see in a flashback, and he thinks he's hit a deer because there's a deer crossing sign. He looks over the bridge, can't see anything, it's too dark, but that's where the crime scene was, and it happened on the same day. So the whole thing is, it's very likely that Nicholas Hoult did it, but he's obviously part of the jury. If he says anything, he's going to get taken away, and we'll have to say goodbye to his, newborn and to his wife. And also, there's also wrapped up in this is they just want to get the case done. Obviously, the thing is with jurors is they get selected. They don't necessarily want to be there. They've got to take time out of work. So you've got all these characters involved. One played by J.K. Simmons, who turns out to be an ex-detective, which obviously is a fun little spanner thrown in the works as well, because I think he has his suspicions of Nicholas Holt's character, and it is, as you can tell, quite knotty, quite twisty, which I enjoyed for the most part. It definitely kept me engaged. It's not quite 2 hours, so it's fairly short and quick. And I think it's a good example of a director having an understanding of their craft and knowing when to drop new bits of information. It's very well paced, and I think it's not necessarily shot in the most interesting way. There's a lot of lens flares, and it's a little bit boring in places. It's a bit beige, with the courtroom, and you kind of don't step out of that for too long, really. Having said that, I did find the ending to be really lackluster. It kind of ends on a hard cut that is fairly implicit on what's going to happen. It's not a very satisfying ending, I wouldn't say. It almost feels like that's the ending of the film, and it's meant to carry on for another 20 minutes, but it doesn't. It just cuts off. And I remember there were two blokes at the back of the room that were seeing this film, and obviously they were big fans of film themselves. I could kind of tell by the way they were engaging with the film and what they were saying afterwards, but they let out a big laugh, like it was a comedy ending to the film, which it isn't.
Yeah.
But they really just found it to be quite ridiculous, and it sort of jumped the shark at the end. And I think if I'm being honest, I was fairly let down with it. Again, a lot of that is because of the ending. It's got 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just looking at that now, and I think for the most part people have reviewed it quite positively. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but I do think it's an odd mixed bag of a film that shows real promise. It's definitely a good film for Clint Eastwood to bow out on if this is his last film, but it left me wanting, if I'm honest.
Actually sounds quite engaging. I had no concept of this film at all. I've only seen the poster in the listing for The View. And the concept sounds quite good, and genuinely quite engaging and quite interesting. I can imagine where they drop new information and where it becomes a bit more sort of knotted and a bit more difficult. And I think that sounds cool, but it's a shame that you've said the ending was a real letdown. Did it not answer the questions then? Did it leave stuff hanging?
Yeah, it's a real sort of hard cut where a character appears at a door, they lock eyes, and then it cuts to black, and then the most low-key music starts playing, and it's almost a bit like, oh, okay. It's a very anticlimactic, oh, okay, I guess you could have stopped it there. You could have stopped it before then even, and it would have been a totally different tone to the film. I don't want to say too much about it. Really, I don't want to spoil it. I think it is worth a watch. Do you need to race out and see it in the cinema? Not particularly. But then, even though I'm not a huge Clint Eastwood aficionado, I think there is some respect, I guess, that you can show by seeing this film in the cinema. It's a very low budget film, and the cast is very capable and quite impressive. I think they all do good work. Toni Collette's sort of southern accent. She's one of the lawyers in the case. I think she's the prosecuting lawyer. She's got this, non-specific southern accent that I think is a little bit irritating, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's solid, but I don't think it sticks the landing ultimately.
I think this film looks like trash. And I've had a sneaky preview of Adam's Letterboxd review. And I believe it was 2.5 stars. Which will preface the review of that, I think. Go on, Adam. Tell us what you thought of Red One.
Sure. So, as I said at the top of the episode, Red One, I've seen this trailer too many times. And it's one of those films where the trailers have revealed too many characters and too many scenes, I think. Like, there was no set piece that I hadn't already seen, which is already a bit of a shame going in. But I think just from looking at the poster, you could tell it's fronted by Dwayne Johnson, although I'd say it's more of a sort of buddy cop film with Chris Evans as Jack O'Malley. Dwayne Johnson's character, by the way, called Callum Drift. Need I say more? Lucy Liu's in there, but frankly, she does absolutely nothing, bless her. J.K. Simmons, again, in there, playing Santa Claus. Playing quite a good Santa Claus, actually. I think it's always it's a niche market, playing Father Christmas in films. But I think when you get a prestigious actor to do it, like I remember Kurt Russell did it in some Netflix films. I think it's
in Christmas Chronicle.
Yeah, I think like they do. It's interesting when you get an actor that can actually do it really well and add some gravitas and add some layers to him, because it's such like an odd character to play. I don't know. It's a weird thing that can go either way, I think. Who else have you got in there? Kiernan Shipka, she plays the villain. Bonnie Hunt plays Mrs. Claus. And that's about it, really. Oh no, Nick Kroll in there, actually, in a fun role. He's funny. He has a good scene, actually. But yeah, Red One.
Before you get started, Adam,
sorry, go for it. Yeah.
I just want to preface it with, why is this released on the 5th of November? Is it a bit early?
That's a great question.
Because it's not like this is like I could imagine you releasing The Holdovers in November, or Die Hard, or a film that's like sort of synonymous with Christmas but not super Christmassy. But this is really, really Christmassy, and I feel like this should have been like a December 15th release or something. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. It's a very good point. This whole film takes place literally over the 48 hours surrounding Christmas Eve. It really is like you're thrown in. It's like Christmas Eve morning, something goes wrong, and then it ends after Father Christmas has delivered the presents. So you're like, okay.
And you're watching it on the 5th of November. My God.
Yeah. It was an interesting vibe. In that respect, actually, the bad weather did play into it fairly well.
Yeah, true.
But you're totally right. It should be a December release. I guess they just didn't want to go up against Sonic 3 and Mufasa, I guess, and all that stuff. But frankly, I think this film was going to do badly no matter what. I mean, now it's just got to go up against Paddington in Peru, so that's probably even worse.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, literally.
I think maybe if they put it out the same week as Wicked, that could have been the best shout.
There's no... Yeah, is Wicked a kid's film? I don't think it's... But then I guess, is this a tiny child film either? No, probably not.
No. Yeah, I'll start by saying that, actually. It's like Piece by Piece. I'm not sure what the target audience for this is, because I guess it's kind of aimed at tweens. I would say sort of 13 to 17-year-olds, which is a very small gap in the market, let's be honest. But it's got that cool, slick, militaristic vibe to it. It's like Arthur Christmas, Do you remember that animated film from like 2011 or something? One of my favourite Christmas films, actually, really underrated. I'll review it maybe when it gets closer to December. But I love that film, and it has that same approach where it takes Christmas and it's like, okay, how would you do this in a more quote unquote realistic way? You need to have gadgets. You'd need to have, proper magic. You'd have to have a whole team of like SWAT, like precise training, and that stuff I enjoy. The CGI is pretty poor. It's quite hard to see what you're looking at in some shots. It feels muddy and it feels a bit cheap, actually, although I think the budget for this film is ridiculous. But I mean, what film? Yeah, $250 million this is. That's
this is a money laundering thing.
Yeah,
my
it has
God.
To have been. I think Dwayne Johnson notoriously requests a lot of money, but I don't think the cast is that good. Let's be honest. There's Lucy Liu, Simmons, Evans, and Johnson.
And Chris Evans isn't exactly in anything decent, is he? Other than, like, we said this, I think, 2 weeks ago about him. Like, his films that he's been in are not exactly thing. Kenan Shipka is not exactly a hugely renowned actor.
No.
Yeah, and Dwayne Johnson, I guess he's a big money man, isn't he? But
it's a strange one. I don't know where that budget's gone, frankly. I mean, it's like Megalopolis, right? Where, let me say, it's nowhere near as bad as Megalopolis. But it's like Megalopolis in the way that I look at it, I'm like, that much money went on this. What gain is this giving to humanity? Like, this could have gone to charity, this money. You could have gone without this film. It's daft. It is irritating. But anyway.
I'm sorry, I need to, before you start again, I need to say something. The Wikipedia has this branded as, the project is seen as the first in this Christmas franchise produced by Amazon MGM. So this is a first film in a planned sequel in his planned trilogy.
Oh my God. I did not know that. Okay, knowing that, it makes a bit more sense. Because the biggest surprise in this film to me was that it isn't just a Christmas film. I mean, it is very much a Christmas film, but it's actually the sort of militaristic agency in this film are in charge of all things mythological. So you see the Headless Horseman in here at one point. You see Krampus. You see the Christmas witch called something difficult to say.
Generic Christmas witch.
Yeah, it's not the White Witch or whatever from the line The Witch in the Wardrobe. It's nothing like that. But yeah, it's it does have fun with things like that, and that's where I think the film is strongest, when it does lean into the more exciting set pieces, when it has the fun gadgets. There's one thing that you've seen in the trailer where they pick up a Hot Wheels car, put it on the ground, shoot it, and then it gets blown up to real size.
Yeah, the Ant-Man thing, right?
This is it. And it goes further than that. That gadget also can make Dwayne Johnson shrink. And when that happens in the film, sorry if I've spoiled that for anyone, but when that happens, I face palmed. I really did. I was like, oh no, why have you done that? That's so... But it's also it's not shrinking. He just goes down to like child size.
Oh.
And then it just looks really strange because you've got a small Dwayne Johnson that's still in proportion to him, but he's out of proportion to everything else. And it's really unsettling and a bit creepy. But there is a good gag with Chris Evans' character's reaction to that. He's like, what the hell? That was so disturbing. I'm like, yeah, Chris Evans, it was. But I like, like the big polar bear being in it called Garcia. Like, sure, why not? It's got its moments where it has, kind of campy, cheesy fun. And those moments I enjoyed. It also actually has one scene towards the start between Dwayne Johnson and J.K. Simmons where they're talking about the meaning of Christmas and why Father Christmas and his team do what they do. And actually, like, the music slows down and I was like, that's actually a really sweet sentiment. And it was really nicely done and acted by both of them, which I wasn't expecting at all, considering Dwayne Johnson plays the same role in everything. But that scene was annoying because it was a glimpse of something better. And I'm like, damn, this film could have been emotional. It could have really done something fun with this budget and with this cast. But unfortunately, by the end, it just kind of drags on. It feels long. It's over 2 hours, which is indulgent.
Oh.
And I think
over 2 hours.
Yeah, the third act and just the whole plan that the villain has, I think, is so by the numbers, and it's ultimately not many of the jokes land. I don't even think there are that many jokes in it, to be honest. Chris Evans' character is fairly unlikable for most of it, but then as is Dwayne Johnson's character, he kind of is just stoic. He doesn't show much emotion apart from, as I say, that one scene, and I guess a bit at the end. But it is a weird watch because I'll say this: if it is, as you've read out here from Wiki, the setup for a trilogy that maybe goes off to expand and look at other holidays or look at, you know, other emergencies, because in this one Santa Claus gets kidnapped and they need to get a bounty hunter in to find him, and that's about it. And chaos ensues, you know.
What a weird plot.
I think the actual design of stuff doesn't look great. Well, no, it does. I think it was interesting to look at. It's cool to look at. I think the gadgets are fun, but at the same time, it's like I've seen this been done. Yeah, it's been done better in Arthur Christmas.
Yes. I was just about to say this. Yeah,
it's been done better in, what was that other one? The Guardians, was it?
I feel like I've seen 10 Christmas films where it's a militarized Santa Claus. I feel like I've watched this film already, and I have not. Like, it just seems like I'm 80% sure that I've watched a film where Santa Claus gets stolen before, and he's like a military Santa. I'm sure I've seen a film like this.
And that's what's weird, is it plays it like it's a completely new idea, and it's like it's got no self-awareness. But it's, as I said, it's just Arthur Christmas meets. Is it called The Guardians? That film where Father
Guardians,
Christmas and
like Sandman and Jack Frost.
Yeah, that one. It's a weird one. It is a weird one. I gave it 2.5 stars, like we said, because it is just down the middle. Like, it's forgettable, and that's a shame, because I think looking at the trailer, you either want something that's going to be so shite you can at least have a laugh at it, or something that's fun and exciting and interesting and new and fresh, and it's neither of them. It just sort of plays it down the middle. It feels safe. It feels by the numbers. It feels generic. But all that aside, it isn't the worst film I've seen this year. I think it's better than some other similar films that have come out. Like it's I'd much rather watch this than Argyle, for example. It's better than, you know, Venom 3. It's better than, what else did I see? Madam Web. You know, it's for big budget popcorn, dumb fun
schlock. Yeah,
this is one of the stronger ones that I've seen, but that have come out this year. But it's not a high bar, is it? So there we are. It's a shame. I think Chris Evans is doing his best. He's always charismatic. As I said, Nick Kroll has a fun scene. He gets possessed by the witch and has to deliver this message, and he's just like chewing the scenery, and he's got his eyes are like glazed over, and he's doing this sort of Michael Jackson lean. Where he's like just on his tippy toes and at like a 45-degree angle on this beach, and he's there, like the sky clouds over, and he's going like, "You are not going to find Santa," and his mouth is moving like mental, and you're looking at him like, oh my god, how much do you get paid for this? Clearly a lot given the budget, but yeah, it is wild. It has some really random set pieces. I think that, again, they could have been a lot more fun. I think there are the bare bones of something better here. So maybe, who knows, if this miraculously does well, even though it comes out in November, you know, I'll go and watch the second one, but it better do better than this. Like, it has to try harder.
This might be a spoiler, but it just came to mind. Why, or maybe don't answer it, I guess, if it's a spoiler, because maybe there's some keen watchers of this film listening, but why do they hire a bounty hunter to track Santa? Because bounty hunters specifically try to find criminals?
Well, I actually wouldn't say he's a bounty hunter. Actually, I think it's a poor description of the character. He's more of a tracker,
detective,
more of a He's a hacker. Okay. He's a hacker. But
Hackety Dog.
Yeah, he's Hackety Dog from CBBC. No, I will say, because again, it's like one of those things that's revealed about 10 minutes in. Basically, the group that kidnaps Father Christmas, he helps, but unknowingly. He's just communicating online on the dark web with this guy that's got a distorted voice.
Jigsaw from the Saw franchise. Jigsaw's John Kramer stole Santa.
No, it's Hackety Dog. He's got like, you cockers, get me meat toast from the North Pole, like that. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. That's the only reason. Oh, he's also a level 4 naughty lister, as they say in the trailer. So
there's a say in the trailer. Yeah, big reveal there.
Yeah, it's a bit of redemption for him because he's a bad boy. But look, he also loves his son and stuff, so he's going to help Christmas and whatever. I will say, actually, the worst part in this film, by far, that I've just remembered, is a scene where fucking Callum Drift, Mr. Charisma Vacuum, Dwayne Johnson himself, decides to crack a joke. And Jack O'Malley, Chris Evans' character, they've just escaped from Krampus's lair, and they're up against it. Obviously, they've got like X amount of time till Christmas Eve, and the launch is going to be late because they've not got Santa Claus yet. And Dwayne Johnson goes, "We are going to save Christmas," and he's like, "I want you to say we're going to save Christmas." And then Chris Evans is like, "What? I'm not saying that. That's cringy. I'm not saying that. That's bad. I'm not doing that." And then Dwayne Johnson is like, "Say it. Say, I'm going to save Christmas." And Chris Evans is again like, "No, I'm not saying that." And then Dwayne Johnson again is like, "I need you to say it. It's important to me that you say it. You have to say, we're going to save Christmas." And Chris Evans is like, "Okay, we're going to save Christmas. There, you happy?" And then Dwayne Johnson again is like, "No, that was rubbish. Say it again. I need you to say it." And I'm like, fucking hell.
How long is
Make
this
it
bit
stop.
going on for?
It's not funny. It's so bad. This is what I think people think Marvel humour is. But I was watching it like, good God, it's so bad. It's an absolute waste of time. Parents won't find it funny. Kids won't find it funny. And it absolutely grinds the pace of that moment to a halt. And it's so boringly shot. It's just camera on Dwayne Johnson, camera on Chris Evans. And it's just back and forth. And both of them are like, you can just tell, like, they're like, really? We're doing one of these little bits for like 30 seconds of the film. Like, it's meaningless. And it doesn't add anything. And, oh, God.
I love the idea that Dwayne Johnson has a evil twin brother called Charisma Vacuum.
Charisma Vacuum. We're adding them to the A-list star on our impressions repertoire.
If we ever return to the A-list. And what else was I going to say? Oh, Callum Drift sounds like a distant relative of Clutch Powers. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Callum Drift, Charisma Vacuum, and Clutch Powers walk into a bar. I need you to say we're going into a bar. I'm not saying that. That's rubbish. I'm not saying that. I'm not.
It's a really good Chris Evans impression because that is exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah.
He always does that. Like,
this whole film is like,
I'm not doing
what?
that. Yeah.
What? That's ridiculous. I'm not going in there. What are you talking about? Christmas? You're saying Father Christmas, Santa Claus has been kidnapped? I'm just a hacker. What are you talking about? I got nothing to do with it. What?
No, I hate that.
I'm not saying I'm going to save Christmas. I don't even want to see my son. I'm no good for him. I'm like, oh, God, please. Make it stop.
I'm a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, literally. Bless him. Chris Evans, you're better than this, mate. You are better than this. Know your worth,
Maybe
son.
he'll make a return in Knives Out 3 or whatever.
Honestly, it's a shame. It's a shame. Like, I love that Sam Wilson's Captain America now, but my God, Chris Evans needed that role because
has he been?
His agent is doing him no
I'm going to
favours.
look at all of his films and make a decision.
All he's
right,
had
Captain
is Knives
America,
Out.
Red One, Gifted, Ghosted, The Grey Man. He voiced Buzz Lightyear.
God, I forgot that. Yeah, bless him.
Yeah, his films are dreadful.
God, he's
like actually bad.
I think he's a great movie star. But you know what he was brilliant in and what showcases his talent? Deadpool and Wolverine. He was in that for 2 to 5 minutes and he stole the show. He had my favourite scene in that whole film.
He's in Don't Look Up as well.
Is he? I can't stand that
shit.
film. One day we'll go back to that. I know people like that film, like really enjoy it. I cannot stand it. Yeah.
Oh.
I cannot stand that film.
Christmas COVID time, I remember it.
I remember we watched it as a family and we got about halfway through and I was looking around the room and my mum gave me a look that was like, I'm not engaged in this at all. I remember being like, should we just turn it off? But what really pained me about that film is I think I suggested it. I was like, oh, this has got good reviews. This might be an Oscar contender.
Yeah, the cast on that film's stacked.
Yeah, for that reason alone. And the trailers were interesting as well. I was like, oh, some film about, the climate crisis. Yeah, I'll watch it. But my God, I thought it was absolutely insufferable. Anyway, let's get on with a better film.
Red one, 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. Fitting with the theme here, we found a lovely little quiz. What is it? It's is this quote from Donald Trump or movie villains?
Yeah. We don't want to get political, but we will do this BuzzFeed quiz.
We're going to.
Yeah, it's called Here Are 13 Quotes. Can you tell if they were said by Donald Trump or TV movie villains? Yeah. I mean, well, given BuzzFeed's track record, and if you listened to the Halloween episode last week, folks, you'll know that could be any number of quotes. It may not be 13 at all. But here we are. Oh, okay, and they've given us options, so actually it's only a 50-50 answer. Okay, right, let's do this. Question 1. They're poisoning the blood of our country. Is that Trump or Voldemort?
Also, I thought it was TV movie villains.
TV and movie.
Oh, TV and movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was like shitty TVs.
No. That's obviously Trump, isn't it? Because Voldemort was never concerned with the country. What was Voldemort concerned with? I don't think Voldemort's that threatening, is he? He only went after a school.
Yeah, right, a boy.
Yeah. Although having said that, talking about America and going after schools, let's be careful here. But
touchy subject.
Yeah. Trump, right? Let's go with that.
I think that's Trump. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it tells you when. Okay. At a 2023 rally, Trump said that immigrants are. Oh, okay. All right. I don't want to say that because that might get clipped.
Yeah. Yeah, just breaking news. Once you become an actual famous radio presenter, the clip's going to surface of you going, immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country.
Ha! Joke's on you. Now they're going to get it for you, mate. Whee.
That's all right. I ain't becoming a famous TV presenter, so...
Oh, here's this. Oh, this is a classy one. Okay, don't ever apologise for being the smartest one in the room. Trump or Mysterio? That's a cool line. I like that. That's Mysterio, obviously.
That's Mysterio, yeah.
God, yeah. This is very, very against Trump. BuzzFeed, although not surprising, I suppose. They are quite leftist, like, aren't they?
They are quite sane.
Yeah, fair. There has to be some form of punishment. Is that Trump or some guy from HBO's House of the Dragon, I think, or Joffrey Baratheon?
From Game of Thrones, yeah.
I mean, that's such a vague quote.
Yeah, what was the quote? There has to be some kind of punishment.
Yeah, there has to be some form of punishment. I think everyone's said that, though. That's not outlandish. Everyone's said that about something.
That might be a Joffrey line.
Yeah.
That might be a Joffrey line.
No, it was Trump. In 2016, Trump said that there has to be some sort of punishment for women who get... okay. Yeah, again, I'm not going to read that.
We can all guess that.
Yeah. Let's fill in the blanks, everyone. Here we go. Everybody dies. It's just life around here. Is that Trump or Killmonger from Black Panther? Again, though, it's not necessarily a villainous line. That is just that is life.
Evil, yeah, just a fact, isn't it?
It's a bit pessimistic, but yeah, what is that? Killmonger, I guess, about Wakanda.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. This next one. You want me to be the bad guy? Fine. Now I'm the bad guy. Is that Trump or and
Billie Eilish?
Just from the gender of the villain that they picked here, Mother Gothel. Would she say I'm the bad guy? Would she say... I don't know, maybe they would actually. Maybe they would. But yeah, is that Trump or Mother Gothel from Rapunzel, from Tangled?
I don't think I've ever seen Rapunzel in its full.
No, me neither.
Fullness.
Me neither.
I know she's quite a well-liked Disney villain, actually. Like, people put her up there quite highly.
Yeah. I don't know on that one. I guess Trump?
Yeah, go for it.
No, it's Mother Gothel. Oh, but again, such a vague... Okay, right. This next one's brilliant. We're going to win at space. Is that Trump or Thanos? We're going to win at space. Brilliant.
We're going to win at space.
we're going to win. We're going to win at space. We're going to do it. We're going to do the unthinkable thing where we go to space and
everybody likes me. I'm the greatest.
Everybody likes me in space. Everybody likes me. It's been well said. Everybody in space likes me.
We all watch Star Wars.
There's a lot of good people in Star Wars. People say Anakin Skywalker. They said he was wrong. But
Emperor Palpatine.
Emperor Palpatine is a very good friend of mine. Mr. Palpatine is a very good friend. Very good. Very strong diplomat. Max Rebo and I, we go way back. Very close buddies. Very close.
We used to listen to the jizz music in the bars.
That's all we do. After every presidential
I gave him his first gig.
Jebelhard and I, longtime friends, very good trade links.
Some people see him as a crime lord.
I see him as a visionary. It's true. He's very funny if you just listen to him. He's very funny. I speak Huttese. I don't know if a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people. Can we keep going with this? This is gold. I put this in a TikTok clip.
The Jawas are coming over and eating our dogs.
We don't serve your kind here. I'm talking about droids. Of course. A lot of people make excuses for the droids. The droids, we're going to build a wall. We're going to build a scanner at the top of the bar. And they're not going to come in because we don't serve their kind. No, it's getting too real now.
Oh, that was a great bit. Well done. If
We
we still did clips, that would be the Instagram clip.
That's my job for this weekend. Okay, next quote. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. Is that Trump or Alonzo Harris?
Who's Alonzo Harris from?
I do not know, but he's played by oh my gosh, what's that actor's name? He's really cool. He's in Gladiator 2. I can't remember his name.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington, yes, thank you. Yeah. Again, what a vague quote, BuzzFeed. Come on, you can pick out way better ones than this. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. That sounds like any uni student that's got a 9 a.m. lecture. Like, okay, next quote. It's the things we love the most that destroy us. Is that Trump or President Snow from Hunger Games?
That is President Snow, isn't it?
It's gotta be. Yeah, there we go. They are indeed the enemy from within. Is that Trump or Homelander?
I mean, they are pretty. You can change them in either sentence and they still match up. That sounds pretty Homelander-ish, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh no, Trump.
Yeah, of course. That was what they were going for there.
He said it at last week's Madison Square Garden rally. He said this while talking about Americans who do not support him. Okay, fair enough. Again, like what a simple,
right.
what sort of insult is that though, Trump? You can do better than that. They are indeed the enemy from within. Yeah, because they're in your country and they don't vote for you. Like,
branding half the population as your enemy though is quite a bold thing to do.
He's so theatrical, isn't he? You know I bet he loves films.
You know what? I bet he does love films. You're quite right.
Not to draw comparisons with us, but I bet he watches a movie from time to time. Yeah. Truth is, there is no one who could do what I do. Is that Trump or Miranda Priestley? I think that's Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Again, though, Trump's behaviour is pretty hard to replicate. Have to get over it. We have to move forward. Is that Trump or is that Gus Fring?
I don't know. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I have not.
Oh man, that's one you got to catch up on. My God.
Have to get over it. We have to move forward.
That might be a Gus Fring.
Trump, I'm afraid. Oh, that was a difficult one. Okay, I mean, obvious. If you're not with me, then you are my enemy. Trump or Anakin Skywalker. Although, again, he said this the other week. But yeah, that's
he did.
And then this is the last one. I'm not a dictator. Is that Trump or the Red Queen from Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland?
I feel like she wouldn't use the word dictator, if I'm honest. I feel that's probably a Trump thing.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Oh, no, we did poorly there, though. 9 out of 13. You scored better than 42% of all other quiz takers. That's a shame. We weren't the best like we were last week.
No.
Damn.
What a shame. Hey. Why don't we pick the mood up with a final review? Adam's voice is doing overtime this episode. A final review of Anora. Okay, so Anora, a rom-com with a hefty runtime of 2 hours 20 minutes and the age rating of 18. There's a lot of nudity in this, Alfie. This was, I was going to see it on my own, and at the last minute, one of my friends joined me to watch it, and she was like, "What's this film about?" And I had to explain it. But she's on the film course, actually, at Arts Uni. Was there boobs?
Yes, there are a lot of boobs in the film, not in the cinema.
Or at the Arts Uni.
I don't know. They've got that natural life drawing session, haven't they? But yeah, literally the first shot in this film is a stripper's arse. So I love this movie. No,
yeah, Adam knew he was in for a good time.
I rubbed my hands together. I was like, right, bring it on. It also opens with a cracking needle drop of "Take That, Greatest Day," but it's like a club remix, the one they put out a couple of years back. Man, it goes off. It goes off, and it hard cuts, and I'm like, oh damn! I probably went like audibly in the cinema when it starts. But it starts with such a great pace. It's distributed by Neon, directed by Sean Baker, and it had, oh my god, budget is only $6 million. Again, compare this all the while I'm reviewing it to Red One, and you'll see that money is not a barrier in making a good film. Quite the opposite. So this is a film done with a very small cast. It's really just a film between Mikey Madison and, what's the guy's name in this? Let me check. It's not on Google, which is a poor sign. Great. Good
journalism.
Good. Well done, Wikipedia. Let me check IMDb. This will give us the answer. I trust IMDb with my life. It's loading so slowly. Here we go. Yes. So Mikey Madison plays the lead character called Anora, but she prefers Annie. And then she bumps into a guy called Vanya, who again isn't on the cast list. Is this character cancelled? Where's the actor? That's so odd. That's really bizarre. Okay, well there's some other character. There's another bloke in this film that's like the second character, but anyway, doesn't matter. Annie is a sex worker at a strip club who is she could partly speak Russian, and that's why when this son of a Russian oligarch comes into the club and asks for someone that could speak Russian, Anora is paired up with him, and he is basically splashing his father's cash and ends up, after having like a good night, ends up offering to quote unquote buy her for the weekend, and then that extends to the week, and then it ramps up in the first hour up until them getting married in Las Vegas. So it's a real whirlwind, fast-paced, exciting, thumping film. It's got actually, I would say, slight similarities with Challenges in terms of the way that it's quite so like energetic and electric to watch. It's really, really fun and interesting and just cool. It's especially really very funny in the first half. Like you see this absolute man-child who is booking out this stripper to come to his mansion in America, and he's like doing forward rolls and backward rolls and doing silly little childish giggles. And she's like, okay, so you've paid me for an hour, but you've only used 15 minutes. We could go again. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'd love to do that. It's so like, it's really, it's very goofy and funny, deliberately so, you know. It's a great first hour. Really loved the film. And then it takes the turn that you could see in the trailer. And, obviously his parents find out about this marriage. They're like, what do you mean you can't just marry this random girl? You don't even know her. Like, I saw you 2 weeks ago. What do you mean you're married now? So the whole second half of the film, or second 2/3 of the film, is about him being forced to get an annulment with Anora. So his Russian parents send in these 3 kind of actually really charismatic but hopeless heavies that sort of storm the house and try and say, look, you've got to get an annulment, you've got to get a divorce for this thing, because your parents are going to be fuming. And that's kind of where the film takes a shift that I'm happy to report, really enjoyed, because I think I had such a great time with the first section, with the first act. I was like, oh damn, I know this is going to fall apart, I know it's in the trailer, but actually that's when it even steps up a gear. You're like, damn, this has got weight, this has got stakes, and you're not sure which way it's going to end. And it does such a great job of keeping you guessing and constantly adding in new fun dynamics and subverting expectations, because these Russian mobsters that come in to detain them, in a lesser film, they'd be really aggressive and they'd probably get guns out or start beating up Anora. And I think there's definitely a version of this film out there where she probably dies, and that'll be the end of the film. But actually, these mobsters are just well-meaning idiots that are just, being paid to do this job and to restrain her and like tie her up with like whatever they have. All they can find is like a phone. And then she's just screeching. Like, it's a really powerful and tiring performance from Mikey Madison here, because she's just screeching and losing her mind. I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? And it goes, it gets wild. And what I love is that you're expecting it to take a dark turn, and it never does that. It sort of stays fun, and it stays like this weird caper that's just almost in a real time, kind of takes place over about 24 hours. And it's them running through America trying to find where the boys run off to, because he just legs it when they get to the house. And Anora's like, I just need to talk to him, I can persuade him, we're not getting divorced, we love each other, I just need to speak to him. And then you find that he's actually just got blind drunk, and then there's more bits of comedy with that. It's just a real great mix of ideas that shows sex workers in a positive light, and in a 3-dimensional way, quite like Pretty Woman, I suppose. It's obviously a lot more extreme than that, but I really had a great time with it. And what particularly elevated it is the ending. Like, literally the last 3 or 4 minutes is almost like a one-take thing, but it's so quiet and subtle compared to how loud and chaotic the rest of the film is. It really slows down in such a controlled and deliberate way, and the final minute is so subtle. I actually like kind of missed what had happened. I was like, oh, because the friend I was with gasped, and I sort of like I literally blinked or like looked at the fire escape sign. You know how distracted they are in the Odeon. I was like, oh, look at that. And I missed like a glance, or I missed a glare from a character. But then talking about it when we left, my friend Libby gave me a take on what she thought the film was about what the ending meant, and then I shared what I said, what I thought it was. Both of them made sense. And then I read it on Wikipedia, and again the official quote unquote plot is something else. But I was like, the fact,
wow.
And all 3 of them are interesting, dynamic endings. I'm like, what a great, powerful moment that film ends on. I would thoroughly recommend it. It's got a lot of nudity. It's got some wild moments in it. Don't get me wrong, like, it's not off the wall or anything. It's not absolutely like zany. It's just fun, chaotic. It's an absolute mess. Like, you're watching it get worse and worse for poor Anora, who is a very, very charismatic character. And I had a really great time with it. I'd really recommend it.
To finish off, we've got an email from Josh Brooker, friend of the show. It came in just before we started recording, so we've got a nice little one here. So I'll take it away. Greetings to you both. Hope you are both keeping well. Before either of you worry, this isn't a lengthy rant or review that needs to be censored for spoilers. Apologies for that. Instead, I have a question around cinemas and smaller mid-budget movies. With the release of Juror 2, or lack thereof, in America, causing a stink in the film nerd circles, as well as a highlighting yet another questionable judgment of choice on behalf of Warner Bros., the future of smaller movies in cinema is in question. While I didn't feel Juror 2 was particularly outstanding, I found it to be a fine, well-written adult drama with a damp squib of an ending. To barely release to cinemas in some parts of the world before buying it on streaming seems to me be an odd choice, yet an unsurprising one. Audiences, when asked, say that they want to see more smaller movies or indie films, yet when push comes to shove, the audiences don't particularly turn out. As a big enthusiast for cinema attendances over streaming, without people turning out to go see these films, then it suggests to studios and cinemas that people don't want to see the films. My question to you both... oh, he's branded us as esteemed film enthusiasts, Adam. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Outside of the film nerd bubble, can smaller or mid-budget films have the potential to do well in cinemas with the right sort of a push, or is it becoming more of a foregone conclusion in today's cinematic landscape? And if it is becoming foregone conclusion, is there a way back for smaller movies in the future outside of just being seen as awards bait? Regards of the season, Josh.
Regards?
Eloquently written as always.
Yeah.
Regards of the season is an exit from an email I've never heard in my life.
No.
But it's now entered my lexicon, so
yeah, I'll be saying that at the end of this episode. I'm also looking at my Gmail. The suggested responses to this are so blunt. Like, imagine responding with this, just like clicking, be like, "Yep, that's good." One is just good questions, full stop, no response. One is thoughts, question mark, and then the other one is all good points, full stop.
All good points.
I'm going to respond with that. All good points.
Go on.
Send.
Press it.
Sorry, Josh, if you just got that, that'll be why. Yeah, so on that, basically, can smaller budget films do as well as blockbusters? It's a tale as old as time. But I think they can. Things like Anora, put it this way, Anora's easily the best film I saw this week. And it cost less than 10 mil. Compare it to something that cost over 20 times as much, Red One. You know, I mean, you could just start... I think Anora was decently marketed, though. That is another thing. I saw trailers for it.
I think it's all down to marketing.
I was aware of it, yeah. So I think maybe that's it.
I'm trying to think of some small budget films that I've seen recently that have done really well. The only one I can think of is Long Legs. I think it always has, and it always will, but horror leans in really well to small budget.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you can market it in such a creative way. Yeah, so Long Legs is probably the only film I've recently seen which is a small budget one and has done wildly good. And yeah, that was all down to the marketing and the TikTok hype and the social media hype. So I think it is really dependent on it's on the studios promoting it. Because yeah, Juror 1, I've seen no ads for it at all. So Juror 2, sorry, not Juror 1.
I found an article here by the Mix Zone. It's the top 10 most successful small budget films of 2024. It was written at the end of July, so with that caveat. But apparently, The Strangers Chapter 1 did really well. I've heard of it, I didn't see it. Monkey Man, of course, that did quite well. We again missed that. Imaginary, that AI film. I think that, yeah, it was in March. I think it came out. I think it was quite quiet time. Or maybe not though. That was around the time of June Part 2, and everyone was just rewatching that. So maybe it could have done even better. Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney, Night Swim, Wicked Little Letters in there as well, and then a few other things I've not heard of. But yeah, it does tend to be horror films, as you say.
Yeah, I just thought The Substance is another one done really well, and I think it's maybe like the shocking value in a horror film lends itself to social media.
Yes, yeah.
That's probably half the reason why then word of mouth picks up and then people go see it and it escalates and escalates. Whereas a film like Juror 2, what are you marking it on in like the era of like brain rot and the era of like really small attention spans? How are you marketing a film like Juror 2? Whereas you can market the substance so easily with really flashy graphics and pulpiness and a really fun twist and a plot that's weird. But yeah, like some of the others. So I think it's all down to probably just the concept of the film and most of all the marketing push.
I think you're spot on there. I totally agree. That's one of the best things you've ever said on this podcast.
If I was putting this on my CV, I'd put that clip on there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what to add to that. I think you've smashed that. I mean, as the Gmail automated response said, all good points. All good points.
Josh Brooker, all good points.
Enough said.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Moving On Up, episode 40, the big 40. If you want to get in touch with us like Josh Brooker did, you can email in hello@movieonup.com. We'd love to hear some reviews. We'd love to hear some opinions. We'd love to hear some questions, anything like that. Keep us going. It's always lovely.
Definitely. And you can follow us on the socials as well, on Instagram and TikTok. That's what we're most active on. That is at Moving On Up for both of those. I just realised episode 40, we're middle-aged now.
Oh my goodness. Or in the age of dogs, we'd be long dead.
We're in the retired home for bears or whatever it is.
Speaking of retired home for bears, taking it full circle, next week we're going to be reviewing Paddington 3, Paddington in Peru.
Yes.
And if everything works out, little brother Lenny Walker will be on the podcast reviewing it with us. Yes. He messaged me today saying, am I still coming on to review Paddington? So we're going to make that happen.
I forgot to say as well, I need to say it on the podcast. Play this for your brother and your family as well. When I met your family at graduation, it was so quick and my hat was falling off my head. I must have looked like a total idiot. And I went...
Bro looked like a right dosser.
Yeah, I really did. And I thought, to be funny, I'd go in for a handshake with Lenny. I think he went in for a hug and I sort of stopped him and I went for a handshake, and instead of going for his hand, I grabbed further up his arm, so it looked like a really aggressive kind of like businessy, almost like weird controlling handshake. I'm like, oh my god, this has gone terribly wrong, and I had to commit to it because I was like, I can't back out of a handshake now. And then to top it all off, bless him, he messaged me that evening saying, he was very complimentary. He said, Adam, it was great to meet you. It felt a bit like meeting a celebrity because I've only heard you on the podcast. I was like, Lenny, you're too kind. You're too kind. But man, it couldn't have gone much worse. So I'm sorry. This is as you've apologised for not seeing the films, I'll apologise for embarrassing myself in front of your family.
Well, luckily we are going to the Muppets A Christmas Carol live orchestra in December, so
yes,
we're going to spend the day in London then. So
I've got a second chance.
Fun. But next week we're probably going to be reviewing the new Hugh Grant film Heretic, so I think that is the plan.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything else, is there? Following week though, Gladiator 2. So
Gladiator 2,
it's getting good.
Would be a big one.
It's getting good.
It's getting good, man.
I've seen nothing but praise for that film.
I'm excited for it. Other than that one historian who was like, the Romans wouldn't have even known what sharks were.
Yeah. And did you see the director's reaction to that?
No.
He just went like, well, actually, Romans had ships and they could sail, so I'm pretty sure they could fucking put them on a boat. You know, how hard is it?
I mean, Ridley kind of goated there, not gonna lie.
Fair play, Mr. Scott. There we are. But stay tuned for Paddington in Peru next week and Gladiator 2 on the horizon. It's getting good. It's getting good.
Getting good. Well, last thing to say, Adam. Regards of the season.
Regards of the season.